Demographic transition is the process of change in a society's population from a condition of high crude birth and death rate and low rate of natural increase to a condition of low crude birth and death rate and low rate of natural increase. Simply, it indicates the decline of both birth rate and death rate from very high level to very low level with the changing economic condition of a region. The transition began around 1800 with the declining mortality in Europe. It now spread to all parts of the world and is projected to be completed by 2100. Demographic transition occurs in societies as part of economic development of a country from a pre-industrial to an industrialized economy. Usually, it is described through the demographic transition model, which is shortly called as DTM. This theory describes the population changes over the time. The demographic transition theory is one of the most important theories which is the best documented by the data and statistics of recent demographic history. In its original form, the demographic transition theory was put forward by W. S. Thompson in the year 1929 and Frank W. Notestein in the year 1945. It is based on an interpretation begun in 1929 by these scholars. They based their statements and arguments on the trends in fertility and mortality being experienced in Europe, North America and Australia over the past 200 years. Most developing countries are in stage 2 or stage 3 and no country is currently still in stage 1. The model has explained human population evolution relatively well in Europe and other highly developed countries. Many developed countries have moved into stage 3. The major exceptions are poor countries mainly in sub-Saharan Africa and several Middle Eastern countries, which are poor or affected by government policy or civil strife, notably Pakistan, Palestine, Yemen and Afghanistan. The theory postulates a particular pattern of demographic change from a high fertility and high mortality to low fertility and low mortality when a society progresses from a largely rural, agrarian and illiterate society to a dominantly urban and industrial, literate and modern society. The three very clearly stated hypotheses involved in the processes are that the decline in mortality comes before the decline in fertility, that the fertility eventually declines to match mortality, and that socio-economic transformation of a society takes place simultaneously with its demographic transition. The demographic transition theory is characterized by conspicuous transition stages. The transition from high birth rate and death rates to low rates can be divided into following 5 stages. Stage 1, which shows high and fluctuating birth and death rates and slow population growth. Stage 2, which indicates high birth rates and declining death rates and rapid population growth. And stage 3 shows declining birth rates and low death rates and declining rate of population growth. Stage 4 shows low birth rate and death rates and slow population growth. Stage 5, in which birth and death rates approximately equal, which in time will result in zero population growth. The first stage. In pre-industrial society, death rates and birth rates were both high and fluctuated rapidly according to natural events. In this stage, the fertility is over 35 per thousand and the mortality is also high, being more than 35 per thousand. The behavior of mortality is however erratic due to epidemics and variable food supply. This stage thus postulates a stable and slowly growing population where the people are engaged in wasteful process of production. This stage mainly occurs in agrarian societies where the population densities are low or moderate. Generally, productivity level is low, large sized families are an asset, life expectancy is low, the development of agricultural sector is at its infancy stage, masses are illiterate, technological know-how is lacking and urban development is limited. Children contributed a relatively constant and young population. Children contributed to the economy of the household from an early age by carrying water, firewood and messages, caring for younger siblings, sweeping, washing dishes, preparing food and doing some work in the fields. Raising a child cost little more than feeding him, and in equatorial Africa there were no clothing expenses either. Thus, the total cost of raising children barely exceeded their contribution to the household. About 200 years ago, all the countries of the world were at this stage of demographic transition. At present, it may be difficult to ascertain demographic transition because the data pertaining to fertility and mortality for such area would either be lacking or would not be reliable. Moreover, the diffusion of modern technology has also been so fast, particularly in the field of medicine, that it is very difficult to find a solitary example of a country which may still be unaffected by the mortality declines taking place all over the world. It is in this context that the first stage has been called as pre-industrial and the pre-modern stage. The second stage. The second stage of demographic transition is characterized by a high and gradual declining fertility of over 30 per thousand and a sharply reduced mortality rate of over 15 per thousand. In this expanding stage of demographic transition, while the improvements in health and sanitation conditions result in sharp declines in the mortality rates, the fertility maintains a high level at least in the early second stage. As the second stage prolongs, the fertility also shows signs of gradual decline. A distinction has often been made between the early second stage with high fertility and declining mortality and the late second stage with slowly declining fertility and sharply declining mortality. In the second stage as a whole, the population expands firstly at a gradual increasing rate and afterwards at a gradual subsiding rate. In the wake of population explosion associated with the widening gap between the two vital rates, the population of resource mobilization becomes significant, the life expectancy starts improving, the process of industrialization, urbanization and modernization become prominent, the large families are no longer an asset. Consequently, the fertility undergoes a gradual decline leading to a gradual squeeze of rate of natural increase at the tail end of the second stage. Most of the less developed countries of the world are passing through this explosive stage of demographic transition because of the widespread penetration of modern medicines and sanitation measures have drastically reduced their mortality rates, whereas their fertility rates are high. The countries like India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Iran, Yemen, Kenya and Indonesia belong to this late second stage where the fertility rates have started declining gradually, but since the decline in mortality rates has been sharper, there is tremendous growth of population. Another characteristic feature of stage 2 of the demographic transition is a change in the age structure of the population. In the stage 1, the majority of deaths are concentrated in the first 5 to 10 years of life. Therefore, more than anything else, the decline in death rates in the stage 2 entails the increasing survival of children, and growing population becomes increasingly youthful, and more of these children enter the reproductive cycle of their lives, while maintaining the high fertility rates of their lives, while maintaining the high fertility rates of their parents. The bottom of the age pyramid widens first with accelerating population growth. The age structure of such population is illustrated by using an example from the third world today. The third stage, the third or the late expanding phase is characterized by a slowing in growth rate as the death rate stabilized at a low level and the birth rates declines. This decline is associated with the growth of an urban or industrial society. The population structure becomes less triangular and more like an elongated balloon. During the period between decline in youth dependency and rise in old age dependency, there is a demographic window of opportunity that can potentially produce economic growth through an increase in the ratio of working age to dependent population. The demographic dividend, however, unless factors such as those listed above are allowed to work, a society's birth rates may not drop to a low level in due time, which means that society cannot proceed to stage 4 and it is locked in what is called as a demographic trap. The fourth stage. In this stage of demographic transition, both birth and death rates decline appreciably. The population is either stable or grows only slowly. In this stage, the population is highly industrialized and urbanized. The technical know-how is abundant, the deliberate controls on family size are common, the literacy and education levels are very high, and the degree of labor specialization is also very high. Anglo-America, West European countries, Australia and New Zealand, Singapore, Hong Kong and Japan are supposed to have reached this stage of demographic transition. The fifth stage. The original demographic transition model has just 4 stages, but it is now widely accepted that a fifth stage is needed to represent countries that have undergone the economic transition from manufacturing based industries called deindustrialization countries, such as Germany, Italy, Spain, Portugal, Greece and most notably Japan, whose populations are now reproducing well below their replacement levels. That is, they are not producing enough children to replace their parents' generation. India has experienced changes in birth and death rates during the period extending from 1901 to 2011. The following table reveals the fact that how both birth and death rates are declining in India. During this period, the death rate has declined from 42.6 to 6.4 per thousand. The birth rate, however, has declined from 49.2 to 22.2 per thousand. Thus, there is wide gap between birth rate and death rate in our country at present, which indicates that India is in the second stage of demographic transition. As per their social economic background, various states of our country are in different stages of demographic transition. For example, backward states like Bihar, Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh are in the second stage of demographic transition. As against this, states like Kerala and Goa, which are famous for high literacy rates, are in third stage. In these states, not only death rates have declined, but birth rates have been much lower than those for the other states. Therefore, population growth rate is declining rapidly here. States like Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra and Karnataka, Punjab, etc. are entering into the third stage. crux of the problem before India is how to bring states like Bihar, Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh from second stage to the third stage of demographic transition. Although the theory of demographic transition has appreciated widely by the demographers, it has been criticized on many counts. Laski and Wildcoase asserted that the theory is neither predictive nor its stages are sequential and inevitable. For example, China has entered the third stage of demographic transition owing to the one-child policy adopted by the government in the 80s. Non-applicability to less developed countries. One of the principal criticisms of the demographic transition model is its questionable applicability to less developed countries, where prerequisites for wealth and information access are limited. Applicability for the demographic transition model to less developed countries has been questioned on several grounds. For example, the demographic transition model has been validated primarily in Europe, Japan and North America, where demographic data exists over centuries, whereas high quality demographic data for most less developed countries did not become widely available until the mid-20th century. Secondly, the demographic transition model does not account for recent phenomena such as AIDS. 94% of all HIV cases are found in underdeveloped countries, and thus the mortality decline of most of the sub-Saharan Africa has been arrested starting in mid-1990s. Thus, there was increase in death rate of this reason, which was opposite to the theory's postulation. Neo-Malthusian objections. The demographic transition model is used to classify countries into general groups. Hence, it is unable to take into account evolutionary changes in the processes of population growth and classify diverse population into distinct but coherent stages of the development process. Neo-Malthusians argue that the long-term fertility of a population depends on the most rapidly breeding subgroups within the population. If a rapidly breeding subgroup sustains its high fertility, it will eventually expand its numbers and restore the whole population to higher fertility. All over the world, groups with lower income, lower educational levels and more traditional social beliefs have higher fertility. In most countries, poor parents decide to have many children and invest little in education, which implies that more weight gets placed on such families. Consequently, an increase in equality lowers average education and therefore economic growth. Until now, the demographic transition model provides no explanation for this demographic economic paradox, and it is possible dysgenic consequences which may cause a cyclic behavior of human population dynamics. The demographic transition model is also limited in the sense that it gives a generalized picture of population change over time based on European studies, assuming that all countries would follow suit. In addition, the demographic transition model is rigid in assuming that all countries will go through the stages 1 to 4 in that exact order. There are variables and exceptions such as war and turmoil that may lead to different results. Some countries may even skip stages. Demographic data for lesser developed countries span about 5 decades compared to 30 or more decades for developed countries. leading to questionable extrapolation of experiences of the most developed countries. In spite of these shortcomings, the theory does provide an effective portrayal of the world's demographic history at macro level of generalization. From such a model, one should not expect that there would be a typical period of time for transition, a typical sequential of fertility and mortality patterns, and a typical socio-economic fabric of each stage. As an empirical generalization developed on the basis of observing the demographic trend in the West, the transition model does help understanding the transition processes of any country, provided the situational context is properly understood. It would be academically unsound to expect all the countries of the world to follow the same sequential pattern. Context is a significant deviation from the 19th century European context.